intro. Let's start straight away. Lampard is going to be sacked if Roman Abramovich is actually sane enough. Because, of course, you must have all heard, Chelsea have lost 3-1 to Man City. It's an absolute disgrace. Who does Frank Lampard think he is? Rafa Benitez? He's not gonna. You can't go on keeping on losing matches like this. Only, I think it was 4 out of a possible 18 points. You got 4 out of 18. That's basically like they're playing like Sheffield United bad. Okay, maybe not that bad, but they could surely do that. Otherwise, in the past few games, even West Brom would be above them in the Premier League table if the Premier League started with their bad run of form. Sarthak, what do you think? You're happy, of course, as you're a City fan, but what do you think needs to happen at Chelsea first? And then we'll praise City.
So I'm definitely happy. But about Chelsea, I think Frank Lampard, I just don't think he's an experienced manager enough to lead Chelsea to what they were expecting by the signings he made this season. This is his first club, I think, and he's only been managing for about 2 or 3 seasons. I think it's always important for a manager to get some experience before trying to do something huge with a team.
Yeah, I know that, but look, you've had a season with Derby, you almost win promotion. They were kind of unlucky, but the Aston Villa side were really good, and the player who basically kind of kept the Derby in the Championship is none other than Frank Lampard's, probably his favourite striker in the team. We talk about him, Tammy Abraham. So he relies on him so often now, and he was the one who confined him to that. I don't know, that's fine. But then he comes to Chelsea with a year of experience. He actually managed against Chelsea, and they were a decent game. I was thinking when Lampard came in, I've seen him play at Derby, and they played a decent style. But the problem with Chelsea at the moment is Lampard's style of play is really well suited to the Championship. Okay, passing across the back is okay in the Championship. Because I mean, no disrespect to the Championship, but they're the second tier. They're not the top tier. You don't have everybody's eyes on you. But yeah, the passing around the back is what Arsenal were doing before they got their good run of form by beating Chelsea. Yeah. One against West Brom. But what Chelsea needs to do first, I think Lampard's time is over. Roman Abramovich has got to sack him. If we've all seen Roman, he sacked Conte after a decent season, even though they only finished with this. And they won the FA Cup. They actually won the trophy.
I'm sorry to say something in the middle, but I agree. I'm 100% with you. I think Frank Lampard needs to be sacked. But another thing, I don't fully blame Frank Lampard. Frank Lampard did some smart business. Like, I know he didn't. But they did some smart business, Chelsea. And the players that he signed, they're just not living up to what they were expected to. But also, Frank Lampard's tactics, they're not suiting the players that he signed.
Yeah, the players they should be playing. With this team, I'd be expecting free-flowing football. I'm expecting that, the Championship style of football, where you just have that kind of rough, you have this just rough play. I'd say this is kind of a bit of a rough game. It's very basic. There are no Guardiola tactics. You don't have that Klopp style bursting down the way. In my opinion, they should be playing a Klopp style of play. This is why Klopp wanted to sign Werner. He has pace. He scores a decent amount of goals. And the thing is that Lampard isn't utilising that.
Like Liverpool's wingers, even Chelsea's wingers are not really fast, but quite fast.
So you got Pulisic. Pulisic is really fast. I remember my FIFA 19 Ultimate Team. He was only 80 rated, but as soon as I got him on from the bench, he almost immediately, every single time, scored a goal. And it happens a lot with pacey players and people that they're OP, but we're not talking about FIFA, we're talking about real football. And that, even in real football, pacey players are really pretty good. But Lampard isn't using them properly. He played Werner up front, that's a good thing. Werner, Ziyech, and then Pulisic on the left. However, I think they should have probably, if you've seen Chelsea playing now, I don't know why he's not starting Callum Hudson-Odoi. He's having his purple patch, a really good run of form. And he's something you want. He needs to be on the, if you want to keep him, you should show him that we want to keep you, we're starting you. I know Ziyech is back, but you surely should be using Hudson-Odoi. Maybe.
Like Pep Guardiola utilised Phil Foden from end of last season-ish, or you could even say from last season onwards, because that's the time when he started to pick up his form. Yeah, I think Frank Lampard needs to do just that. Before last season, Phil Foden was basically a nobody, just an English wonder kid. But now, I'd say he's like one of the maybe like best wonder kids in the world.
Yeah, like if you see him, he started breaking out mainly in the 2018-19, scoring in the 7-0 win against Schalke, and then you have him breaking out like this. The same thing happened to Callum Hudson-Odoi that season, curiously. In the Europa League, yeah, Chelsea played in the Europa League, but it doesn't matter. Arsenal, Tottenham, all having the same kind of problem. We have this where he scored a goal. He did really well in that season. Was instrumental under Maurizio Sarri. Then Lampard comes in, uses him for a bit, and then when you have the rest of his academy graduates as his colleagues, of course, and some of them very good friends, you have Abraham, which in fact, if you tell, they actually have like, you know how they have the same hairstyle. I can barely tell them apart, but they literally have the same hairstyle. But Abraham was selected over him.
Abraham at that time, Abraham was in not like tremendous form, but quite good form, and just like Hudson-Odoi. And I think that both of them should have started, but Frank Lampard just didn't choose them.
Yeah. The Frank Lampard chose Abraham until his purple patch ended. He also had, of course, Mount. People say Frank Lampard's teacher's pet. I don't fully agree with that, but in the past, definitely probably was his teacher's pet with him at Derby. You have Tomori, who's now not there. He was with Lampard at Derby. Yeah, we've all coming to the conclusion that Lampard is the problem at Chelsea. No disrespect to Frank. He's one of the biggest legends ever at Chelsea. I fully respect him. But for his managerial career so far, no.
Yeah, I think the first move Frank Lampard needs to go, and then Chelsea need to start rebuilding themselves once again.
Yeah, you spent 220 million and they still don't get anything. Now, speaking of big spenders, there's a manager who's very used to doing pretty decently with a big spenders, and that is Thomas Tuchel, who was recently sacked by PSG and replaced by Maurizio Pochettino, who I think Chelsea should have gone for earlier, but now of course no. But then I think Tuchel would be a pretty good for Chelsea. I can see players like, of course, he's got Mbappe, who is not the same as Werner, but they've got the similar attributes. Decent pace, decent dribbling, scare defenders to death when they're doing really well.
Yeah.
I think Tuchel could do really well by having Werner up front. And then, of course, Tuchel has Neymar, who had the flicks and tricks. You could technically say Mason Mount is a bit like that. It's like, I'm not comparing the two sides. If I was comparing someone to PSG, I would compare Man City more to them, as they, of course, have similar ownership. But Chelsea seem like, at the moment, at PSG, with not as much money and not as good players. It seems like that.
Yeah, Chelsea, they just seem like a lower standard PSG.
Yeah, and Tuchel could be amazing with Chelsea. If they sign Tuchel, firstly, you're getting a proven manager, Dortmund, PSG, and then yeah. Second option I think they should go for would be, if he leaves RB Leipzig, Julian Nagelsmann. Firstly, you're linking him with Werner and Havertz. Firstly, you have you also have the German connection with Havertz, and the German and RB Leipzig connection with Timo Werner, which means that he knows probably he probably can definitely get the best out of those two. And secondly, it's just that he's different. He's young, he's dynamic. Lampard's young, but I'd say much less dynamic. And Nagelsmann, of course, couldn't make it as a player, so he's much younger. I think that Nagelsmann would be a good fit, but the problem is there's too much competition for him. So if they could get him, they should take him. But I
like it. We've already said this multiple times, but again, Frank Lampard is a first problem at Chelsea. And another thing, as you saying, the purple patch for Tammy Abraham and other players like him, I think it's important to like not just have them in your team when they're in good form, and then when they turn it when they get a bit of bad form, you just take them out of the team, because that just like lowers like in FIFA career mode, there's morale that just lowers the players' morale.
Yeah, I must say there's a lot of comparison with this in FIFA career mode. It's like Frank Lampard was playing FIFA career mode, and then it's in real life he's had too much pressure. But third on the list, I would say they could definitely possibly get them. I also saw this on a website. I was saying that who does Frank Lampard think he is? Rafa Benitez. Why not bring Rafa Benitez? Because I must say, Benitez, I mean, he was bad. He was not good at Chelsea. He was not good at Chelsea in his first stint. But if he makes a comeback, he could potentially be a bit decent. This is probably the option they should go if they cannot get Tuchel or Nagelsmann. If they can't get Tuchel or Nagelsmann, get Benitez. Probably last bit, but yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, so Tuchel and Nagelsmann, they're all really good. They're all just really good candidates. But first of all, I just think that Chelsea just need a bit more of an experienced manager.
Yeah, that's what we bought Benitez. Liverpool, who we worked wonders with. Madrid, Chelsea, of course, in the past. He's done some stuff in Italy. I believe it was Napoli he was with. He's been with so many clubs. I think that Benitez or anyone else who's experienced in a free agent, just snap them up. I mean, also last one, Massimiliano Allegri. How did I forget him? He's really experienced, a true winner. I think that's also another thing Chelsea might need. So we have four candidates here: Benitez, Tuchel, Nagelsmann, and Allegri. Who do you think is the most likely to sign?
Personally, I'm not sure. I don't think any of them are actually linked, but I think any of them three would definitely help Chelsea a lot for their experience and their silverware that they've got in their careers of managing.
I think Tuchel is the most likely, very simply, because you don't have to prize him from his current club.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a current club. And secondly, he's experienced.
Yeah, definitely. Even I think Tuchel would be the best candidate and the most... I don't think that the other two will actually go to Chelsea. I think Tuchel might go.
Yeah, I don't think Nagelsmann and then the other two as well. You have Benitez and Allegri. But yeah, I would like to see how the situation pans out. Hopefully, it comes well for the Blues, for us. Hopefully, they could. Yeah. So what I'd say, especially to all other Chelsea fans, I would say sit there. Firstly, hope for the best, and secondly, definitely have a look at the games and have a just maybe even don't just go into the games and just think over them. I've been doing that, mulling over the games in my head. What I'd say is probably watch less football, because if Chelsea are playing badly, best thing to do is watch less football. I was watching from halftime onwards on the TV. I saw 3-0. I don't know why I went to watch, but I really shouldn't have, because the game was boring afterwards. It was like a Mourinho game. And then, just probably best not to watch the game. Okay, so thank you everyone for watching, and we'll see you next time. Peace.